After the soldiers had arrested Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, and all his disciples had ran off into the night, the soldiers tied up Jesus and led him into the high priest's home.
Matthew remembers it like this. The leading priests and the entire high council were trying to find witnesses who would lie about Jesus so they could put him to death. Jesus was put on trial, but the verdict had already been decided. Guilty.
Even though the governor couldn't find anything wrong with Jesus, the religious establishment persuaded him to give Jesus a death sentence, and he did.
They made a crown of long, sharp thorns and put it on his head. And they placed a stick in his right hand as a scepter. Then they knelt before him in mockery, yelling, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they spit on him and grabbed the stick and beat him with it.
His body was beaten.
His blood was spilled.
His heart was broken in exchange for me.
For me.
In exchange for me.
In exchange for me.
So in the tragic and glorious logic of love, justice and mercy met on a cross.
Justice and mercy met on a cross.
On a cross. God became man.
And man rejected God.
The deepest scars that Jesus felt that day, the greatest pain wasn't the barbed whips flaying his back. It wasn't the nails biting his skin.
Or the thorns slicing into his scalp. Or the thirst clutching at his throat. He felt the pain of a soul abandoned by God.
To really understand the cost, to understand this exchange, we need to hear the barbed tails of the whip sail through the air.
We need to see the blood-stained tears of Jesus soaking into the sand.
But more than anything, we need to feel the rising terror of this moment. Don't turn away. Hear the painful cries of this man now, or you won't hear his invitation later.
You can't accept his love until you realize his sacrifice.
Each step he took, he was taking for you.
Each splinter stinging his skin from that old, rugged cross, he took for you.
Each wound that he felt, crying out in his soul, he felt for you.
Each thorn had a name on it. Yours.
He knows of no other way to save his beloved than this, to die in her place.
In your place.
In my place.
In one tragic and beautiful exchange.